basically what we're going to start off by doing here is we're going to look at three different markets tonight. We're going to first do a follow-up to a stock that we recently analyzed in the Indian stock market, and then we're going to look at the Hong Kong market, and then we're going to take a look at the U.S. market as well. And we look at different markets every night. So let's start off by pulling up our chart. We just hit the chart button here, and we type in the ticker symbol. Sometimes there's more than one stock with the same ticker, but they trade on different markets. There we go. This is the one we want. Okay. This stock that we're looking at here, this is called a candlestick chart. And of course, you'll learn more about this when you become a student. But each one of these bars, these are called bars, these green and red bars, represents 1 day of price action. Now, we have some indicators that we typically use as our default technical indicators. We use something called moving averages. And these lines you see here are called moving averages. The blue line is the 20-day moving average. The green line is the 50-day moving average. And the orange line is the 200-day moving average. These moving averages are simply indicators of trend. They tell us if the trend of the stock is going up or down or perhaps sideways. And there's different things that we look at with these indicators, and I'll show you that some more examples later. Now, the reason we're looking at this stock is what's interesting about this stock is if you look on our YouTube channel, you'll see that on our YouTube channel on May 24th, May 24th would be this day right here. The day before that, the evening of May 23rd, what we did was we did analysis on this stock. So right before it had this big up day, on this particular day, the stock rallied 11%. We pointed it out as a potential stock that people should consider buying in this market because of the chart pattern that it had. Specifically, it had a tight band of consolidation going sideways here, while the 50-day moving average was moving higher, and the stock pulled back to support of its 50-day moving average. So we said if it gets above this horizontal line, it's a buy entry. So of course what happened, it went up a lot higher the next day, and then it did what's called a pulled back. That means the price went lower the very next day. And notice how the red bar indicates it closed right about where this horizontal line is. That's called the breakout level. So if somebody missed it on the breakout day, they can get it the following day on the pullback day. 2 days later, the stock went higher, and now in today's session, the stock actually moved above the high of 5 days ago. So we pointed this stock out as a potential buy entry about 9 days ago. And at the time, our buy entry was around 78 rupees. And now the stock has closed in today's session, the stock has closed at the price of 88.60. So that's about a move of, in terms of percentage points, you're talking about a 13% move. This stock has moved higher in a period of less than 10 days. So this is typical of the kind of stocks that we like to find our subscribers to help them find in our daily stock analysis sessions. And these are the things that we do in our live webinars and our classes. We teach people how to find these stocks before they make their move, of course. And we typically look for about a 20% gain in a period of several weeks, and then we look to get out. So we're not day traders, but we're short-term traders, meaning that we buy something, typically look for 20 to 25% gain, and get out several weeks later. And this stock is a good example of what we actually look for and what we teach our subscribers. Now, next, let's take a look at that was a follow-up review because we like to follow up on previous stocks we point out. But let's do a brand new analysis session to scan the market of Hong Kong now. That was the Indian market we were just looking at. Now let's take a look at the Hong Kong market. Using our market scanner, we will go to Asia Stocks, Hong Kong, and first thing we'd like to do is type in a volume parameter. That means that the stock must trade at least a certain number of shares every day. And then we can put in a price filter also. Let's say we want the price to be at least $1. Okay, and we hit this button here, top percentage gainers. And we can even do sector. Let's say we want a stock in the financial sector, which is where we'd start. Now we hit the search button. And we get a list just like that of the top stocks sorted by change in percentage from the stocks that had the biggest update today within that particular sector that meet our parameters. Now this scanner that you see obviously saves people a lot of time. If one was to manually go through every stock in the market to look for the top moving stocks, that's a lot of time, but by click of a button within a matter of seconds, we can find out which stocks are moving. And there's a lot of different types of scans we can do. Now this scanner is part of the Interactive Brokers stock platform that we told you about earlier, but our own proprietary Dragon Chart scanning platform is in development, and within about 2 weeks we actually expect to have, maybe a little bit longer, but expect to have the initial version of our own scanner, which uses our own strategy to find the best stocks in all the markets in Asia. So that's going to be exciting when that's out. But in the meantime, we can use this platform for scanning. And what we like to do here is take a look at the top stock. We click on this button to pull up a chart. Okay, we click here, and the chart comes up. And this is ticker number 81. Here we can see the company names, China Overseas Grand. And wow, look at this stock. This stock has really been moving higher. If we take a look here on the bottom of our chart, this is the date. This is January of 2011 back here. So basically, at the beginning of this year, January 1st, this stock was trading at $5, and now it's trading at $11. This stock has basically doubled in price, 100% gain in just a 5-month period. So that's exciting when it happens, of course. And these are the types of things we help our students find before they make their move. But there's a couple lessons in this chart example that I like. First of all, notice how the price would go for several weeks at a time in a very tight sideways range without much price action. This right here, let me pull up my annotation tools. This right here is called consolidation. Right here, I circled this area. That's called consolidation. And this section right here, oh, my arrow is black, so you're not going to be able to see it. I'll have to fix that. But here we go. We can use the highlighter. This section right here is called the breakout. Notice when the price starts to move out of this consolidation, how it goes higher for 6 days in a row. And then we had a big, what's called a pullback, this big red bar down. But notice, here's why we use our moving averages. Notice how the price held support of this 20-day moving average. It means it didn't go much lower. So if we missed this initial move, we would look to buy the stock when it comes down to the 20-day moving average. And then the stock went sideways again, consolidating here. And look what happened right here again. We've got the start of a breakout above this band of consolidation. And look what happened again. It went up 6 days in a row from $8 up to $11. Do you see the repeat of the pattern? 6 days higher, preceded by sideways consolidation, and look what's happening again. Sideways consolidation, and look what happened today. Today it actually broke out of this sideways consolidation, and the volume, that means the number of people buying the stock, went higher, which is what we like to see on a breakout. So it looks as if this stock may actually form the same pattern it's been doing and position itself to go on another run of 5 or 6 days higher. So you see how patterns repeat themselves in the stock market, and that's because, as I mentioned earlier, the emotions of fear and greed also work the same in every market. So this is a good example of a stock patterns repeating themselves and why technical analysis works. Now let's just take a look at one more stock here, and then we'll wrap up our stock analysis session. Let's take a look at a stock that we happen to come across before that trades in the American stock market on the NASDAQ. This is called, the ticker symbol is ACAS, A-C-A-S. And this is a good example of a strongly trending stock. And we talked about the moving averages earlier. What we like to see in a strongly trending stock is for this blue line, the 20-day moving average, to be above the green line, which is the 50-day moving average, and for the green line to be above the orange line, the 200-day moving average. And notice how that's the case. When all three of these lines line up like that, that indicates a steady trend higher, which is what we like. Stocks don't go straight up forever, and they don't go straight down forever. They move in cycles. They oscillate. They move up a couple of days, pull back, move up a couple of days, pull back. But these moving averages tell us if there's actually a steady trend or not. And what we see here in this particular stock is, notice each time the stock pulls back, it pulls back to this 50-day moving average. It went just below it, but it held it. People bought it and went back higher. Here again, the stock came down to the 50-day moving average. And over the last 2 weeks, it's down to this 50-day moving average again. So what this tells us is that this is a low-risk buying entry. Every time we see the stock pull back to the 50-day moving average, we have to assume the trend will continue. And the longer a trend has been in place, the more likely that trend is to remain intact. So now we don't just blindly buy when it pulls back. We then wait for our buy signal to confirm that the stock has found support and the price is going to move back up. So what we see here is the 20-day moving average, the blue line. In this case, yesterday's price action, the stock closed near its high of the day. So if this stock gets back above this level right here, above yesterday's high, above today's high actually, and above the 20-day moving average, that's our buy signal. And then the stock is likely to go back up to test this previous high as well and consolidate perhaps and then resume its uptrend. So this is a stock for our students in the Hong Kong market. This is a stock that we like and we're looking at for potential buy entry in tomorrow's session. So this concludes our nightly stock analysis session. Again, this is free for everybody to attend. We have these nightly stock analysis sessions just about every night. You're going to be keep checking your email. You'll get the schedule and updated schedules, and these are always free. Now, of course, our students that join get access to all of our instructional material, teaching you everything from how to open up a brokerage account all the way to how to analyze charts like we've done here. And of course, it's a lot of material. Now, unfortunately, all of our courses are closed right now for new students. We're closed for registration, and the reason is because we actually like to give a personal experience to all of our students. We don't want 1,000 students in one class. That we want to give a personal hand-holding kind of experience to help our students learn how to become successful stock market traders. So as a result, because of popular demand, our classes are currently not open for registration. But the good news is that we do expect within the next month or so to have some available slots for our students to attend our classes. In the meantime, please be sure to continue watching all of our videos on our YouTube channel and come to our nightly webinars. You can come every single night if you like, and you'll learn more from our free material that we present in these webinars. So what I'd like to do now is actually go ahead and open up the session to any questions. We have a little bit of time for questions and answers, so I will turn off my software here, and let me pull up the chat window.